Good morning, IDS 302. Welcome to Summer A 2021. My name is Michael Fayer, and I'll be your host and your instructor. Um, First videos are always kind of fun for me to do, but I tend to go long, so this won't be indicative of the length of the videos coming up. I'm going to be doing 2 videos per module, 6 modules. Um, each one, so 12 videos, each one worth 5 points. That's 60 points, right? Um, there will be no math in this class that I know of. Well, it might be a little later, but uh, I will be giving you 3 Easter eggs in the video, and you'll just write those down, email them to me. Don't need anything fancy. Don't need your ID number. Don't need, parents' names. No, that's exaggerating, of course, but just, you can send me the Easter eggs, just put them in a boom, boom, boom. If you want to say anything, ask anything after that, absolutely go right ahead. Okay. I, let's just, well, my bio, it's available. I take pride in the fact that whatever your interests are, some of it's going to resonate with me. Whether you're into business and sales, I've been a IT sales guy. In fact, I still do that as my side hustle with one account yet in the East Coast. But I started in '97 doing that, and I've sold over $5 million a year in revenue for my companies. I was a senior account manager. I worked for 3 different companies so far in that business, and so I kind of know my way around sales and being in that environment. I've also been an entrepreneur, and I've been in, so, the business side, the art side. I've been an artist. I've made multimedia works and things, and you'll see my video later in the class that I made. And multimedia and being an artist is important to me. I've been writing, painting, photography, video, and I got paid to do it too. I mean, it was pretty neat to have my work being purchased. It wasn't the goal, of course, but it's always nice. And so, if you're into the arts and things like that, it resonates with me as well. I've been in law enforcement. I was a sergeant in Milwaukee County, a corrections officer, and a detention officer here in Phoenix. I've worked in the jails. I have seen some things. No, but I understand, and I've got my opinions about the criminal justice system, and some of you may delve into that in this course as well. So if you're into, that I've been in that chain of command type of environment where I've had to write precision reports that needed to be hold up in court. I've done that. Whether it's, frontline blue collar, done plenty of that. Whether it's business, sales, done that. Management, done that. Arts, done that. So I think if when you introduce yourself, I always like to see what resonates with me. So we're just going to go over generally the course today, I think, in this video. The course is May 17th to June 25th. It's only 40 days. And we can go 40 days in Phoenix without seeing a cloud. So, I mean, 40 days is pretty short, actually. So, don't procrastinate. Stay with it. You can do this. I've got it broken up into 6 modules. Normally, in a split session, normal semester, I'd have it at 7.5 weeks. We'd have 7 modules. I have to contain it to 6 and get moving on it right away. And so I've streamlined it a little bit. I'm not trying to, I did remove an assignment or 2 that I felt could be dropped in an effort to make it more doable for you and in your efforts to submit quality work. I do find summer classes to be students to be much more focused and invested and ready to go on this because they really want to get it done. There's a reason they're going in the summer, and it typically means either graduation is close, they really need this, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm liking where we're going. The size of the core class, I think, is 24 right now. That's an excellent size for this class, not too much, not a little. And I think there's about a half a dozen of students who've had me before, whether that was in 301 or 302. But welcome back, and you know what you're up against here, right? So let's keep moving on then. The syllabus in the course in Canvas is a little more detailed, of course. If you have any questions on that, I demand that you email me, okay? I'm very, my colleagues they typically hate me because I respond so fast that some of my students don't even know they got a response because I responded like instantly on email, not text, email. But that's because, let's face it, I have no life. Okay, this is no, I shouldn't make this my social life. But hey, somebody email me. I do stay up on it. I take pride in my empty email box. In a summer session, especially this short, we don't have time to be dragging out grades, dragging out email answers. I need to, I want you not to have to sit and spin your wheels. Okay, I don't want you to have that excuse, in other words, right? So definitely email me anytime with any questions. Disregard whatever it says on Rate My Professor. No, that's just a stupid site. But I glanced at it today, did a little side eye, and it's typical. Either I'm loved or hated. There's no medium ground really, but that's fine. It's not accurate. I mean, my course evaluations, I take seriously, and I'm going to ask you to do one yourself. I take them seriously because they help me to get this class to evolve. Okay. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud to say this version of 302, my 302, is better than the previous ones sequentially because I try to improve every time. There's nothing wrong with that. If I didn't try to do that, we'd be doing work on 9/11, or even worse, we do work on, hey, the millennium is coming, Y2K. Who knows about that? Uh, we're not static here. We got to keep moving forward, especially in a field like interdisciplinary studies where so much relies on 21st century issues, topics, problems that you are going to be involved in, that you're going to work on. So I've got to keep it current, and I want to keep it in a way that students succeed and are proud of their success. Okay. Um, Nobody's gonna get a free roll. To address a couple of things I do see on comments, though, some students get upset with me greatly about not using rubrics. I have a religious conviction about against using rubrics. I find that rubrics create a ceiling, and what I mean by that is that if you have a checklist rubric and you go, I'm going to meet that one, I'll meet that one, I'll meet that one, I'll meet that one, boom, I should get an A. No, it just, you know, when you get a C, it's a minimum, right? A B is superior and A is excellent, for want of other words. But I do give you samples. In my opinion, samples are better than rubrics. Why? Because now you know exactly what I'm looking for in terms of organization. You got to put your content in there. You got to not plagiarize, of course, but I give you the samples so you can see what is expected. And like I tell each class, I always want this class I'm in to give me newer samples, better samples than the ones I post, so we can keep moving forward, right? There's academic rigor in this class. If you don't know what that is, I guarantee you will by the end of the class. Don't be afraid. It's nothing to be afraid of. You're in college, you're in university. Academic rigor is a good thing, okay? It's good to put in your resume tool belt that you know what this is and how to experience it, okay? Yes, I use the same textbook as my 301 class. One student at least was upset about that. I don't know why. Do you want me to actually make you buy another textbook that's over $100, or would you like me just to use the one, which you can get as an ebook? This used to be the book for the this class, practical research, and some still use it. I find it to be overwhelming, to say the least, because I'm not interested in teaching you all kinds of research, different research, especially in 6 weeks. It's not possible. Let's get real, right? I'm not interested in letting you go do a research paper on what you want and kind of guiding you, because that never works. Why? Because you've probably never experienced university level research before. And you want to know what that is? Go walk on a campus, any campus of a research university type, and you'll see, the engineering research building, the science research building, the biology research builds these places. Okay, research moves the ball further, moves. Um, in high school, or in other cases, you'll do a research paper, which means like, oh, teacher says I need to do a research paper on the Titanic. So you get out there and you look for all things about the Titanic and strength of steel and icebergs and all kinds of things about 1919? I don't know. And you put it together and you hand it, here's my research paper on Titanic. Is that university level research? No. That's about as much university level research as I'm on a research trip to Europe. Of course, we use the word research all the time, and it's fine. Absolutely fine. But when you're talking about university level research, what you're endeavoring to do, what it endeavors to do, is to add to the body of knowledge in the field, in a particular field. So, whatever your field is, you're trying to add knowledge. That could be an eyedropper in the Pacific Ocean, but it's more, it's new. Whereas your high school research was basically a compilation of existing information and data put together by you to show you, here's what I learned. And that's not university level. It's time to got to step up your game. It's a good thing, though. It's a good thing, and you can you'll see that by the end, the sense of satisfaction you get out of it. Yes, it's a big paper. Don't let them scare you. I do not give zeros for a misspelled word on a paper, as much as some student wanted to say to me in the evaluation. I've never done that. Formatting is important. Don't freak out. You'll see that all over some of these reviews, but I'll show you how to format. It's not that tough. My story, again, from the amount of career, I was a big sales guy, my last career before this one, up until 2010. I mean, I was rolling through. And then the economy crashed on me and I lost my top account, which was providing me with 70,000 of my income a year. I said, what the heck am I going to do now? I was a single parent. By the way, that resonates with some of you. I was a single parent raising two sons by myself. One of them is still sleeping. He is a senior at Barrett Honors College in history. The other one graduated from Cronkite, ASU Cronkite in journalism, and he's living in Scottsdale. Point is, though, that I know what you're up against. I went to college at 52 years old. I said, I'm going to college. I had to do 3 years because I had some credits from way back at a community college years ago. I did 3 years, 3.5, I think, actually. I didn't even know what to do. I was an artist, so I was studying art, and I was studying, creating art, art history, and then I saw interdisciplinary studies. So I went to ASU, got interdisciplinary studies, and my concentrations were African American studies and human rights. I always wanted to know more about things that my peers didn't know about. Okay, so I know the distance between Ethiopia and South Africa. I know if you have a friend in Ghana, that doesn't mean you meet someone and they say, "Oh, I have this friend up in Madagascar. Do you know him?" I know Africa is 50 plus countries. The final number is kind of debatable as there's some border conflicts going on. Um, I graduated summa cum laude. I was the graduate of the year for the College of Letters and Sciences, where um, the interdisciplinary studies program was located, and so I was named and I was the African American Studies Academic of the Year. I parlayed that to getting accepted at Howard University in Washington D.C., where I ended up going with my son. I pulled him out of 8th grade. We went there. I didn't even go. I mean, I ended up, there were some issues being a single dad, having my other son here in college. Felt really bad about that. I bailed. I came back. I did my master's at ASU West Campus in interdisciplinary studies, focusing on ideology, video production, multimedia type things. It was exciting. And then lo and behold, one of my mentors, Dr. Michael Prisdia, who's now my colleague, some of you might know him, great guy. And he said, hey, you should teach, man. He was like always in my corner. I said, what, me? He goes, yeah, you got this background that's huge and varied. You're a contemporary student. You know what issues are going on in academia from the student's point of view. And I said, okay. So they hired me as an adjunct after I got my master's. And then the following year, I became full time. this is finishing my 4th year full time, and I've been really excited. It's the greatest gig I've ever had, and as you can see, I like to talk, so I always do these videos. Any questions, comments, concerns about that? You let me know. Let's do Easter egg number 1, so that you know I didn't lie about that. Easter egg number 1 is don't procrastinate. Okay. By the way, as far as deadlines go, I have a you got to do this. Well, you got to do the academic integrity agreement. You got to do a syllabus quiz right off the bat. Um, Pay attention to that late penalty. 5 days, I'll accept out 5 days, and then no more after that. Okay. And there's a sliding scale of percentages for that. Okay. And I just want to be sure if I didn't change that. Let's see, what did I do? Okay, I have 10% per day for up to 5 days. Now, there's not a lot of time in this class to even be 5 days late. That's kind of the weird thing, you know. You don't want to be that late, because when the class ends, the class ends. I just want to check my syllabus quiz, because somehow I'm thinking, did I change anything here? Let's see, preview. I guess I did not change it. Okay, so let's go with that, what I just said on that one. All right, now Easter eggs. I don't have a late penalty for that. Get them in within 5 days and it'll shut off. I don't know. It's 5 points. You'll get it. You'll watch the videos, right? Okay. I've got some article links. I'm going to save those for the next video. I always try to look at some contemporary issues, things that pop up that I spot regarding either research or issues that are really pertinent to this type of course, and I send them along with the announcement. But I'll hold off on that. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at some of the comments that were made last semester. Let's see. Your assignment is not a 40-page paper, okay? It's a paper that's 5 steps. What we're going to do is we are going to use the textbook, and we're going to go through it pretty heavily and stuff, but I want you to really pay close attention to the bottom of page 34, and there you're going to find Tanner's 5 steps. Tanner's the guy who wrote this. So down here, Marcus Tanner wrote this. Michael Prezdia and I started using this in 301, and I decided to carry it over to 302 because look, it's Introduction to Integrative Studies, and there's sections on integrative research. There's not a lot out there. So I think Tanner's 5 steps are really good in terms of a methodology and design of a research project. And I use that because some of these other ones are too general. We want to get into integration here, okay? And by the way, those who know me and those who don't, integration to me is a key word. You can use that word as much as you want. I would probably give someone at least a C if they just wrote a paper and the only word in it was integration. That's how much I want to get that hardwired into you. If you took me in 301, you know I want it hardwired into you. 303 and 301, 302 now, that's what we're doing. The basic definition I'll give you now, I'll keep moving on there. Interdisciplinary studies. Interdisciplinary studies is a field, okay? Doing interdisciplinary work is a field. You should know what that is by now, okay? It differs from multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, intradisciplinary by being what? Integrative. What does that mean? Well, integration is the process of doing interdisciplinary studies, okay? We integrate everything all day. Let's face it, we are multitaskers. We're integrating our lives constantly. But in an academic sense, in a strictly a disciplinarian sense, integration is what we're doing. We're not looking at something with business and economics, and that's it. Because that's a double major, major minor, multidisciplinary. We're taking it to the next step. We're going for integration. Okay, what does that look like? That's the tough part, but we're going to get into that so you can see what it looks like. That it is a little bit less difficult than grasping water as it comes out of the faucet, right? So stay up on that. Okay, Easter egg number 2, contact the instructor. That's me. I'd like you to give me send me an email. That's how we start. I answer my emails all the time. Okay, if you want to set up a call, we set up a call. If you want to set up a Zoom, we set up a Zoom. Okay. I can't wait till the fall and start setting up office visits again. But let's be sure that you contact me, that you don't spin your wheels. And don't buy any of this garbage. Some people say he's passive aggressive. He is not, okay? I know what passive aggressive is. I'm not passive aggressive. I may test you to do what I'm asking you to do without me doing it for you, but showing you how to do that. But just let me know. Don't wallow, get steamed up. Talk to me. Can't believe how, I mean, I'm a realistic guy, you know. I'm raised two sons myself. I've been working a million different jobs in a million different fields. I understand what's going on in real life, okay? We've got a limited time to do this, so let's do it and let's make it a pleasant experience. I'm so proud of when I go to graduation convocations and I got students coming up to me and just gushing about how proud they are that they made it through, and I'm so happy for them, you know, that they would allow me to be some kind of positive influence. So take advantage of that. In terms of module one, let's just get into that real quick as I'm 21 minutes almost. Module one looks a lot because I put things down in like these pages. Go through it. Again, I'm not sure the student mindset in terms of how you sequence this stuff. Maybe you just go to the main homepage of the class and then you look at what's coming up to do and then you do it. You see what's coming up and you do it. I want you to be careful with to do in that you don't procrastinate too long, okay? Yes, I don't really want you to get too far ahead. I don't want you to fall behind though. A lot of this work cannot be done on the same day that it's due, so the main papers at least, okay? So let's take a look at module one real quick. You got the welcome page, you got the academic integrity agreement, you're just gonna agree with that. And then you've got module one here, you send me things 5 points. You got a syllabus quiz, 5 points. You got a musical introduction discussion board, piece of cake. Yes, I use word count minimums in many of the discussion boards just to give you a prompt of what I'm looking for, okay? And yes, you get dinged if you don't meet that, right? So, but again, see what happens though, if I say a 300 count word count, as soon as they're gonna do 300, they're gonna stop. Maybe one out of every 20 might go beyond that. Why? Because everybody thinks, all I got to do is 300 and I'm done. It's just a guideline, you know. So open your mind. Don't don't leave yourself short, right? Because if you're doing the minimum, how are you ever going to get anywhere, right? All right. So there's learning materials telling you what you're going to read here. Okay. Seems like a lot right off the bat, but you really go through these things because they're important. Yes, a lot of this stuff used to get split in two modules. We don't have time to do it. Get her done. Let me know if you have questions. I will go through a lot of this on the second video, which I will put out Wednesday or Tuesday, I think. Let me see. No, Tuesday I got doctor. I think I'm going to do it Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday I'll get that next video out where I'll go through some of these things more specific, but it's self-explanatory. Remember, this course is designed for me not to be in it, you know, in these videos. So what I'm trying to do is give you the kind of a layman's terms, because some people do better with imagery, some people do better with writing, some people better do with just talking, okay? And if you have trouble with anything and want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to do a phone call with you, okay? Like, this guy is so lonely. Okay. So there's things to read in here, things to view. I'll go over them quickly on Wednesday. Tanner intro, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Sounds like a boatload, doesn't it? I mean, it's like 39 pages. It's big writing too, okay? And there's diagrams. You got this easily, but do it, okay? So you're gonna be looking at that. I give you a little basic about formatting of all papers, and I'll go through that. Trust me, you won't get destroyed by formatting wrong. You're gonna learn. It's simple, and you're gonna learn. You know, I didn't know what I was doing at 52 years old when they said format the paper in APA. What does that even mean? At 52, I did this. Okay, so you can do it. I could do it. All right. It's not that tough. Once you know it, it's like riding a bike. You fall off a few times, you get back on, finally you get it. Okay. So that's the learning materials there. Now you have different pages about your IDS 401 info. I want to link you to Purdue OWL APA format where all the answers are in terms of formatting. Then you got module 2. Then I want you to have the Tanner model is right there. Then we're going to talk about ethics in research. Read about that. Then you got a discussion thinking outside the box. Then you got an assignment, which is your research topic. And then you got a quiz. Yes, it's busy. The module should end on the 21st. I'm ending the modules on Friday. It's the only way I can come up with 6. Okay. But I am going to give a little bit. Okay. So just let me know. Okay, I can't make any super promises. There's no unlimited time frame. But if you're running into trouble, especially, students like to end on the weekend. I'm trying to figure out if I can end it on Sunday night like I usually do instead of these Fridays. And we'll get into that. Please, please give me your comments on what you need or what you think in your emails to me with the Easter eggs, right? And we'll talk more about your research topic. Look at all those things, you know, and see what you want to do your research on, right? I give you choices, but it's up to you to tell me. I'm trying to, if you have a different idea, okay? You do not have to use your concentrations in this class for this research. I want to make that clear. Yes, it's probably important to a lot of you, and I fully support that. But I'm just saying that, in case your, you know, concentrations are geology and music, well, no, they're not, okay. But you can use them, by the way. But you might want to go a different direction. Look at the topics, present your own topic to me if needed. Just get it in sooner so I can approve or modify it with you. Okay, and then decide because you already have your two concentrations. You're taking classes in that one, taking classes in that one. My job in IDS here is to teach you how to integrate. Okay, and you can integrate these, or you can integrate another one. In fact, for this research, I'm going to have you do 1, 2, 3. You're going to use 3 concentrations. Why? Because 2 is not enough and 4 is too many. Okay, 3 demonstrates you got to do 1 versus 1, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and 2 and 3. There's 4 different combinations there. If you only did 2, it's only 2 different combinations. But remember, doing 3, there's 1 combination, 2 concentration, 3. I'm sorry, 3 combinations. Okay, so you go from 1 to 3. 4 is way too many. 3 is the sweet spot. Okay, we'll talk about all this. Let me know your questions. You have to. You gotta. All right. So I think that'll do it. I'm going to talk to you on Wednesday. Let me give you the third Easter egg. Oh, it can only be one, right? Forks up. All right. Have a good one. I'm available. I'm putting this out there early, of course, because some students have a easier time checking this out on Sunday than they would tomorrow. So, peace.